Hello, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tech Exec podcast. As always, I'm Aviv Ben-Yosef, your guide to triple impact per engineer. And today, we're going to be talking about wandering. Before I get to that, if you missed it, I'm sorry, but as this is coming out live, I'm just wrapping up Launchpad 2024, my free session to make sure that you're on track to have a killer 2024. If you did miss it and you missed the benefits that I gave to anyone who attended, email me and I just might, if I have more space, give you the same benefits. So my email is in the show notes. And second, of course, I feel obligated to remind everyone, Israel still in a state of war. It's been over 10 weeks now. It's hard. War sucks. I really wish we'll see that the IDF has been able to turn a corner and actually get their hands on the leaders of Hamas soon for the benefit of everyone. And let's get to this week's topic, wandering. First of all, I'm saying wander with an A, not an O. Yes, I'm not a native English speaker. My accent might be problematic here, so wander. Let me start with a line from a poem I really like from Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Not all those who wander are lost. And this is basically what I want to talk about today. Wandering does not mean you're lost and you don't know what to do. Not necessarily, at least. Let's talk about it. If there's something that I keep seeing when I work with tech executives, is that oftentimes people who come from a very technical background, as the startup progresses, as the team matures, they find themselves sort of disconnected from the team. That's because at some point along the way, they are no longer managing the team itself. They have a VP, for example, who's in charge of that, a VP of engineering, a VP of R&D, whatever you want to call it. And due to that, the technical co-founder, the tech executive, sometimes it's not a co-founder, it's just someone who used to be the CTO at the start and as the team grew eventually reached this point where they are not exactly sure where their value is in the team. I'm working with CTOs right now who brought in a really good VP under them, and they're really happy with how they're working out for the team. But for them personally, what it means is that they are no longer sure, what am I doing here? And it's very easy to get lost if this is the situation you find yourself in. And I want you to make sure that you know what you're doing, that you know that even if you're not sure what your purpose is right now, you are aware of it and you can work to ensure that you find your point of impact. And what is this about? In fact, I've been for a few years now saying I see this sort of an archetypical CTO co-founder who after a year or two starts being this sort of magic wildcard. These are people who can do anything, maybe not be the best at it, but whatever need the company has, they're there. They go there and they help you do that. And maybe you see that with yourself. You're really good at engineering, okay, but oftentimes you see those people picking up product leadership when there's a problem there. Maybe they help set up the customer success. They help set up sales engineering. They help set up your data science group, even if you've never touched data before. Sometimes they even go and do things like help set up the sales or the marketing teams, help introduce automation into marketing, for example, all sorts of stuff. They just go where they're needed and they help there. Sometimes it's more technical, sometimes it's less technical or not technical at all. And this is, I think, beautiful. This is part of why more and more CTOs nowadays are becoming CEOs, because at the root of so many startups nowadays, what you need is someone who knows how to handle methodology, knows how to critically assess things, and people from a tech background are actually pretty well set up to do this, as long as they don't block their thinking from seeing that this is a possibility. If you block yourself, if you tell yourself that you only fit in this box and you can't do anything that's not technical, you're going to miss out on so many things. So As we're approaching a new year, I want you to consider whether you're right now in a state where you're wandering a bit and you're not sure what you're doing, and it's okay to wander. But as you're wandering, I want you to look around and see that you can find a path where you're providing value, even if it's only temporary, even if you're going to help with this thing for the next 3 to 4 to 6 months. That's okay, because I'm certain the next thing is going to pop up. You're going to have more problems to fix. You're going to be needed, and having the ability to put co-founder attention in different parts of the business is actually sometimes an amazing force multiplier. So don't look at this as a disadvantage, but as an advantage, as an opportunity. It might be frightening. It might be weird. Maybe you need to talk to someone like myself to help you shape your role in the company. But I want you to know you're not the only one going through this. This is actually pretty common. And I've seen some amazing success stories emerge out of these situations. Okay? So you can do it. And this is a short one. Let's get to the holiday season. And if I've given you just a little bit of an inkling of how you can turn your wandering into something impactful, let's also finish this up by me being an extra geek today, and I'll read the second verse of that poem from Tolkien. From the ashes a fire shall be woken, a light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken, the crownless again shall be king. And you, my friends, are all going to be kings and queens. Wishing us an amazing 2024. As always, do check out my newsletter in the show notes, and I'll be here next week.